who's one of the travel journalists, and he's going to have a little few words with you. So please give him a big round of applause. Let's hear it for Eoghan Corry.
Good afternoon. Eoghan Corry is the name. I'm a travel writer, a very proud resident of Celbridge. I've known Ciara a few years, and I want to, very privileged and honoured to be here to share with her for the opening of the office. This is pretty important locally. It's pretty important in terms of how the travel industry is moving. And I'm just going to talk about that for a second, if you bear with me. Ciara's energy and enthusiasm is really brought new energy, new life into the travel industry in Ireland, which to a large extent is run by grey-haired men in suits. There are three shining lights. The tech word next to gen probably applies to this, the next generation. One of them, Pamela Brownlee in County Mayo and Andrew Lynch in North Dublin. But we're very proud in Celbridge to have probably as the shiniest light of them all, and that's Ciara Mooney. This office is a symbol of what's happening within the regulated travel trade in Ireland, because 20 years ago, when somebody invented the internet, there was a sort of a sense around there that travel agents aren't needed anymore. Why would you need a travel agent? The industry that Ciara works in is very heavily regulated. It's very difficult from the trade side, from a business point of view, to put up with all the bureaucracy, to put up with all the regulation, and to then follow the normal rules of business, which is basically present a product and get people to call into your shop. The fact that she has done so well and should be held up as a beacon through the entire country. And the main reason why we're standing in these beautiful new offices today is that travel agents have a big advantage. They've used the internet to their own advantage. In the days when the message went out unanswered for decades, that you can always do it cheaper if you do it by yourself. Sometimes you can, of course, but not always. And if you want to reduce it to one line, how does a travel agent sell in a world against online, against all the other opposition that's out there? Ciara has access to hotel rates and to airline rates that will never be put on the internet. The reason they'll never be put on the internet is a hotelier in Spain, when he's selling off a room very cheap, he doesn't want to display to the world he's doing that. So how travel works, and this is very blindingly simple, but it's very odd. It strikes me as very odd as someone who works in the media that the message hasn't been got across early enough and often enough, is that the cheapest hotel rates are the ones that aren't sold as a standalone hotel room. They're the ones that are put together with the flight and the package and the transfer, and sometimes when you look at all of that, it turns out to be cheaper than the flight alone will show up on an airline website. Ciara has access to a lot of material, a lot of prices, a lot of information, and they're a wonderful team, by the way. Let's not personalise this too much. Mary and Mel and Michelle and Fiona and Sharon and Michelle. Yes, right. Mary has come, by the way, from one of the biggest travel agencies in Ireland to be with Ciara here. That's how important Ciara is. She's great. But the reason that the message that they have access to a lot of the information and the prices that will never be made available to the consumer, because that's how the travel industry works. It's a very convoluted industry. Anyone who had any doubt how complicated the industry is would just try to read Ryanair's explanation of what they're up to over the next 6 weeks. A couple of quick answers to questions I've been posed around the room here. Where should people be thinking of going on holidays this winter? What's been happening is that there's been a big rush to Spain, and the traditional the Canaries are where we all go in winter, basically because it's a 4-hour flight and you have to travel a lot longer to go anywhere else. Have a look, though. The simplest rule for watching where bargains and prices and everything work is have a look at a new route. Have a look at a route that isn't well known, that isn't developed. For instance, the Tunisian services, the Moroccan service, that's a Freudian slip, you can't get to Tunisia for obvious reasons. Moroccan service that has gone to double weekly the new mainland Spain routes that used to be summer only, like Bilbao from Aer Lingus would be a very good example. The Asian routes, Asia is on fire. The new route from Qatar, Emirates double daily, Etihad back to double daily, Turkish double daily through Istanbul. The likes of Thailand is on fire in terms of hotel stays. It's a magnificent place. If I had my way, I would actually tow Thailand to about a 2-hour flight from Ireland, because the only thing going against it, it's 11 hours away, but it is a great, great winter destination. That's just a little smell of the huge range of product that Ciara and her team will have for you here when you call frequently, hopefully, to these offices. From this town's point of view, it's also really important that the development of this centre out here should be sending some sort of message back to our planners as to how we rethink the future of Celbridge. There's a major development coming here in Donaghcomper. It strikes me as very odd that people can park in the likes of Liffey Valley and walk a good distance, 300-400 metres, to get to the shop of their choice, when a town like Celbridge, and all the North Kildare towns suffer from this, could really benefit from treating their city town centre like it was a modern complex with shops and businesses and coffee shops and everything, all that life. You don't have to channel your traffic through your main street every day. You could, the development options that are open to the North Kildare people, North Kildare planners, they should include options that would put out-of-town car parks, because we're charging in our town now, which is a bit of a bugbear for some of the businesses in the town, out-of-town car parks where everybody would get facilities to walk into the town and do their business. That's something I'd love to see happening, and I'd love to see more Ciara's, not in the travel industry, you don't want competition, it's okay. I'm getting dagger looks here, but more businesses on the scale of Celbridge, of the scale of Ciara, and with the ambition and the scope of Ciara, to turn to our town into a thriving town. 21,000 people living here. A lot of them are out in their car, out of the town early in the morning and back in the car into the town late at night. But let's get our town moving, thriving as a business destination. It's lovely to see Alan from North Kildare Chamber here earlier on. Let's get that moving as well. I've gone on a little bit too long. If anybody has any specific sort of travel-y things you want to talk about, I'll be mingling for as long as the last bottle of red wine is here. And I'm now going to pass you over to the real star of the show, ladies and gentlemen. The travel champion of North Kildare is more than done on Churnshaw of Rudda Ciara Mooney!
I'd like to say a huge thank you to my mum and dad, and also Eugene over there from React, who done an amazing job at my office, and all my girls, who without them I wouldn't be here. They're fantastic. They have a lot every step of the way. People come in and looking sad and depressed, they go out happy and dancing. What else is there to say? Thank you to everyone here. Without you, I wouldn't be here, and without you, I wouldn't have this amazing office that I can't wait to come into, and I don't want to leave. My mum will vouch for that. Where are you? Half 1 in the morning. Yes, I'd like to thank all my girls, and unfortunately Eoghan, who was and is my youngest member of staff, and counting down the days till she gets back. It's just after having a brand new little baby, so she's going to be back with us now in early March, and the girls have a wealth of knowledge, guys. Use them. They're fantastic, and I love them all to bits. And thank you to my partner David for putting up with my moods on my mum and dad, and all my friends in the room. So thank you, and enjoy the food, and hopefully there's drink left. If there's not, I have a speed dial on my phone, so I can press the number, and there will be more arriving in 5 minutes. So yes, thank you. I'm going to pass you back over to Paul and play some music. Thank you.
Congratulations to Michael. He's got himself a family holiday to France.
Just for everybody that's entered the door and whose names are in here, you'll also be entered into a prize for a weekend ride for 2, and then winners will be announced on the 30th of September on our Facebook page. So stay tuned. You have enough.